Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I was just explaining there about who the Central Applications Office are, and I was on to some of the changes that have happened this year. So now the CAO, they don't issue the physical handbook anymore, and now it's on their website. So you can get it as a PDF that you can download onto your own computer, or you can use it as an interactive book on the website itself. So it's really good, it's really easy to use, and it's a really important document to read through. The first half of it explains the whole process of applying, and you can pick out the sections that are relevant to you, and you can read through them and be familiar with it. And the second half of the book is a list of every higher education course that's available to you to apply through the CAO, and every code that is attached to those courses. So it is a good source of information to have. And the second thing that's new on the CAO website is that there's now a link to a range of further education and training courses and apprenticeships, and that was never there before. You don't apply through the CAO for these courses, but it's just to show you other options that are there. So the CAO application process is open now. It opened on the 5th of November. So anytime now you can go in, you can register, you can begin your application, and you have up until the 1st of February to complete that application. If you apply before the 20th of January, and if you start your application and register before the 20th of January, you can avail of a discounted application fee. So it's €30 rather than 45. So that's a good thing to have in mind. And then you can go in and out of that application right up until the 1st of February and make as many changes as you want, and that will all be free of charge, you know, because you're after paying your application fee. And if for some reason after the 1st of February you realise you've made a mistake, there's a course choice that you you have things in the wrong order, you want to make a change to your course choices, they will charge a €10 fee between the 1st of February and the 1st of March to do that if you want to do that early. But again, always check with the college, always check with the higher education institution beforehand that you can do that. And Emer talked about this, and we will always emphasise this. If you talk to us in the guidance service, you have to do research beforehand. So a few things, just a few pointers for you. Familiarise yourself with that CAO handbook that I spoke about, and know where to find the relevant information on it. When you're researching your course choices, we would often recommend 2 websites to start with if you're doing a broad kind of search. Qualifax.ie is one, and Careers Portal, probably in particular, careersportal.ie, to do that kind of broad search of courses that you're interested in and find out where they are, what level they're at and all of that. From there then, if you want more in-depth information, direct yourself to the college website, or if you have the college prospectus, you might be able to request one. It's a brochure or a booklet that the colleges produce. There you'll get much more in-depth information about courses. And it's important to do that because what might be business in Maynooth University and business in Athlone IT, when you drill down and look at the course content, they could look very different. So you have to drill down and look at the modules and courses, the subjects that are on offer under each course title. If you can attend events like these, open days, information sessions directly with the college is really useful. And Emer already said, you know, maybe contact a mature student officer in the relevant college, or if they don't have a mature student officer, then maybe an admissions officer, just to find out everything you need to know. You might discuss your options with family, friends, colleagues, you know, whatever. And by all means, you can set up a meeting with one of us in the guidance service across the 2 counties to discuss further if you need more information. And also we would suggest maybe familiarise yourself with this national framework of qualifications. If you haven't seen it already, just have a quick look at it now. I'll be sending on these slides to you so you can have a look at it in more detail. But the courses that you will see listed on the CAO Handbook and in the college prospectuses are at levels 6, 7 and 8, and they're known as undergraduate courses. Level 6 courses take 2 years in duration and lead to a higher certificate. Level 7 courses take 3 years and lead to an ordinary degree. And level 8 courses take 3 or 4 years and lead to an honours degree. You'll notice that certain places will offer courses at levels 6, 7, 8, and others will only offer courses at level 8. So maybe Maynooth University is an example. The universities tend to offer courses more at level 8. And then the institutes of technology and the technological universities offer courses at levels 6, 7, and 8. So some people like to throw themselves into their level 8 degree, focus on that qualification. They know that's the one they need. They want to spend the 3 to 4 years doing it, and they apply for their level 8 course. Other people might like a stepping stone approach, can't commit to 3 or 4 years, and might start out with a level 6 qualification, do that for 2 years, and then add on to a level 7 and add on to a level 8. So you have to think about what way you would like to do things. And you can apply for all of these options through the CAO. I mentioned the application fee already. So 28th of January, if you apply before then, the rate is €30. And if you apply after that date, but before the 1st of February, it is €45. If you miss the 1st of February deadline for some reason, and you want to apply late, you can do that up until the 1st of May. It does cost €60, and not every course will be open to you as a mature student. And Emer mentioned that already. So you have to check with your college whether they will still take you as a mature student after the 1st of February. And then just to, I suppose, to identify it, even maybe some people are wondering what is a mature student in the first place. To qualify as a mature student, you must be at least 23 years old on or before the 1st of January 22 in order to apply for courses in September 2022. So you need to be 23 at least now, or turning 23 on or before the 1st of January coming. And what it means to be a mature student or mature applicant is that you may not have to fulfill the normal entry criteria to the course. So you don't have to fulfill the normal criteria that someone coming straight out of Leaving Cert would have to fulfill, because they take into account your life and work and educational experience so far and assess you in a different way. You will apply by the 1st of February in most cases, and always check with the college and with the mature student officer and with the CAO Handbook mature section in case there are additional requirements, closing dates, supplementary information you have to provide. And if you were in contact with your college, like the mature student officer or the admission officer, something to ask them might be, do you need to fill out a supplementary application form? Do you have to do an additional test? Do you have to do an interview? So it will differ from place to place. So we know now what Maynooth University ask for, and Emer explained really clearly what their assessment criteria is over the springtime. Another example would be NUI Galway, for example. They might ask you to sit a specific assessment test called an MSAP, which you have to apply for separately, pay for separately, and then sit in a specific time frame. And another college might not ask for that at all. So you really need to check that depending on which college you're going to apply to. Okay, so that brings us then to when you go onto the website itself, the CAO website. If you haven't gone onto it already, this is what it will look like when you go on, and you'll see all the tabs there across the top. The middle one there, apply, the green one, that's where you'll go in to make your application. You'll get the handbook under the orange tab there on the top, and all the related information to that. You'll get a list of courses up there. And then once you make your application and you want to go back into it to make changes or to check for updates, you click on the red My Application button and you can log in from there. And this is a website that you'll become kind of familiar with if you do make an application. So when you hit that apply button and you start the process, just to prepare you for what you'll be asked for, you'll be asked for your personal details, so name, address, email, phone number, all of that. And very quickly then you will be asked for, it will bring up a qualifications and assessment section. And you will be asked what type of qualification and assessments are relevant to you for this application. So anyone here who is a mature student, definitely tick number 8 on this list. And then after that, you can tick whatever other ones are applicable to you. So if you do have an Irish Leaving Cert that you would like to be assessed under, tick that box. If you also have or are doing at the moment a QQI level 5 or level 6 major award that you'd like to be thrown into the mix, you can, and you know that it might make you eligible for the course, then you can tick number 2 there as well. So you can tick as many boxes on this as you wish and as are relevant to you. And then that will open up the rest of the application form to you and specific to these ways that you're applying. If you only want to tick number 8 as a mature student and that's it, that's fine as well. From there, you'll be asked to create and remember a password to give you access to your account, and you'll be asked for payment. So you'll have to have your debit or credit card ready for that. And really then that's it, you're registered. And that's all you would have to do before the 20th of January to avail of that lower application fee. And you will be then issued a CAO application number, which is really important to make note of because you'll use that in every correspondence that you'll have with CAO over the coming months. So just to kind of point out then some of the sections you might be asked to complete, depending on what way you answered this this previous section here. You will be asked for and you can have these ready, you know, so you've asked for details of your qualifications to date. You might be asked for your PPS number if they want to track any QQI qualifications that you have that might be relevant for the course. There will be a question around whether you're happy to allow CAO to share information with SUSI, who are the organisation that look after your grants. We always suggest to tick that box, yes, because it makes things easier for you down the line. You will be asked if you need to disclose any disability, and as Emer said, that's really useful if you do have an illness, a disability, a difficulty, an injury or something that is going to impact how you'll experience college and how you learn, then it's really important that you let them know about that. Okay, you will be then, there's a section of course on course choices, and essentially under the course choices section, there's 2 lists. There's one list for your level 6 and 7 choices, and there's another list for your level 8 course choices. So essentially there's 2 lists on it. You can fill in as many or as few courses as you wish. You can see there, you can fill a maximum of 10 courses on each list. So you could potentially have 20 courses on your CAO, but that's likewise, you could have 1. So that's up to you, it's individual to you. You don't put in the course name, you put in the course code into your list, and the course code will be found on the CAO Handbook, or it can be found on the CAO website. So you have to go and find the name of the course that you want to apply for in the college that you're thinking of, find the corresponding code through the handbook and put the code in to your list. And really, really important, it's really crucial that you list your courses in a genuine order of preference. So the course you really want the most, even if you think you have no chance of getting it, if you really feel it's so competitive, you may not get it, but you want it more than anything else, put that number 1. Okay, so that's really important. And then go number 2, your genuine order of preference, number 2, number 3, and all the way down. Okay, so then you'll be moved into, you'll see a section on, it's the mature applicant section specific. So again, a few things to think about and have this information ready so that you can prepare for filling out the application. You won't have to fill out, you may not have to fill out every one of these areas, but you know, the ones that are relevant to you. So they'll ask for your highest qualification to date. If you're studying currently, they'll ask for details of your current studies. Any other post-secondary education that you have, they will ask you to complete that. If you have second level education that's before 1985, there's a section for that. Any non-certificate courses that you've done that you think are relevant to the courses you're applying for, you can pop them in as well. There's a section for your employment and voluntary work history, and you pick out maybe again the most relevant ones, because I think they only give you space for about 3. If English is not your first language, there are some questions around your English language proficiency. And you also give details of 2 referees that could speak for you. You give their email address, their phone number, and their title. And I would always suggest that you get their permission first, so that if somebody does contact them, that they'll be expecting to be able to speak about you. Really important piece is your statement of interest. So this is worth putting a bit of work into. You only have about 1,500 characters, which is maybe just above 200 words, maybe it depends on your words, obviously, but this is an opportunity to kind of sell yourself and make your application unique. So you give a snapshot or an overview of the most relevant life, education and work experience that you have in relation to the courses that you're going to apply for, and maybe a little bit about your goals, your objectives, how you think that this will help you in the future, and try and making it a little bit personal, a little bit unique, so that your application can stand out and impress the reader. You'll be asked about your hobbies and interests. There's just a small section on that. And here maybe put in any hobbies or interests that might be related to the studies that you're thinking of applying to, any achievements you have, anything at all that shows teamwork, commitment, motivation. It could be the smallest things, but anything that you have that you're interested in and you want to let them know about. There's quite a bit of, there's quite a few resources on the CAO website, videos, a demo application, there's a couple of YouTube videos. So if you go on the CAO website, and you'll see them on the presentation I send you, you will get a little bit more of an overview there. Okay, if there's anybody here just thinking about mature student nursing, you must have your application in before the 1st of February. That's really important. And then there's an additional step that you go onto the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland website, and you register there with your CAO number and will be expected to take a test in March, April kind of time. So you'll get more information directly from the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland on that, and their contact details will be provided to you after. And just to note, you're not actually required to complete the mature applicant section. You will tick the box to say you're a mature applicant, but you won't have to complete that section if you're applying for nursing, midwifery or primary teaching as a mature student. However, just be careful if you're applying for other courses as a mature student as backups, then you will have to complete that section of the form. And finally then, like I suppose if you're coming into your final steps, what CAO will want next is evidence of the qualifications you put into your application. And so you'll need to get photocopies. They won't send you back anything, so just do photocopies. Photocopies of any certificates that you have of courses that you've done that you mentioned on the application, and you post them to the CAO. You have 10 days after you finish your application to post them. So you'll get their contact information, their postal address on their website. They're over in Galway. You send them, maybe we would suggest send them by registered post to make sure that they arrive, or you can include with it a stamped, a self-addressed postcard with a list of what you've sent them. And they'll send that back to you to confirm that they've received it. Put your CAO number, your name, your date of birth on, well, CAO number and your name at least anyway, on every document you send them. And they'll be able to track it for you. I'm not. These are the same that Emer mentioned. The financial support. I want to just have it in there, and also just to let you know that we will do a student finance webinar in the spring, and we'll let you know when that's happening, and you can join in, because that's a whole session on its own, you know. But if you want to know something, you know, before that, come and speak to us in the guidance service about it, and we can kind of fill you in, because it is important. And there's a few positive changes with Susie that have happened this year. They're the main grant funders, and you know, there's some positive increases there. So hopefully that'll include much more people. Sorry. That's it. Yeah. So final slide. So summary. Then you apply online to the CAO.ie before the 1st of February coming. After you've finished and you're happy with that application, photocopy all your qualifications, send them by post. There's a checklist on the CAO Handbook that you can kind of tick off and see, have you done everything you're supposed to do. Go back onto the website under My Application for updates, but also check your email. If you've allowed them to text you, they will text you also. And that's a way of keeping in touch with the CAO and keeping on top of the process. But check your junk or spam if you're not getting your CAO emails. So they should send you an email pretty soon after you register, you know, so keep an eye for that. If you're not getting it, then you can check your other folders of your email. And if you require any assistance at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us in the guidance service. And here's all our contact details. So we've Patricia in Athlone, John and Fiona in Longford, and Caroline and myself in Mullingar. And you can maybe screenshot or take a photo of that piece if you want. But I will be sending you on all our contact details. So whistle-stop tour of the CAO complete. I was afraid I wouldn't get it done in the time that I had. So I'll stop sharing that now. And I will also stop recording. I'll stop recording.